Hey everybody, it's Ford Tech Steve. It's the day after the arm drop. We were unsuccessful in getting the Foxbody to the race. But with the rain out that we had, maybe we'll actually be lucky enough to make this for their later date rescheduled event. Still an option. We just need to see when that event ends up being. But today, I am simply going to see if we can't get this to start. Messed with the timing a little bit. Found out we were about 90 degrees out. I know everybody in the comments when Aaron was doing his live stream said, sounds like you're 180 out. We weren't quite there. The balancer that we have has several different timing marks. And what we actually found was we were looking at the wrong one. So we marked the one that actually shows up with top dead center for cylinder 1, took the cap off, moved the distributor to the appropriate spot, so we should be good now. But we will see if we can't get this to fire, and then at that point I'll finally be able to start doing some of the other electrical stuff that we've got going on. So I just hooked up the battery. We'll set the camera up and see if we can't get it to start. Cam still needs to be broken in. This is a flat tappet engine, so we will not be running it for long. I still need to put coolant in. I need to do a bunch of electrical stuff, like the rest of the wiring and everything needs to be done for the fan, as well as the alternator. A bunch of stuff like that needs to be hooked up yet. And then once we get that all hooked up, we'll be ready to go. We'll be able to set this up and actually run it. Break the cam in and see what we got for a running car after that. Alright, so I'm kind of hoping whatever timing stuff my dad actually figured out while we were gone is going to be good. It was about 90 degrees out, so we'll see if that fixes that. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the key and see what happens. Alright, so ignition's on. I kind of have a feeling that I'll be able to just give this a couple pumps, and with the timing being right, I wouldn't be surprised to see this just start right up. So let's see what happens. You know what, that feels like something. It still seems like a fuel issue. We're getting actual fire over, but it just sounds like it doesn't have enough fuel. Alright, so I did lock the choke open. I know a bunch of people were sitting there saying, oh, well, what do you need a choke for? It's a race car. This car is not meant to just be a race car. We are planning on making this kind of a well, to basically fit our class, a daily driver. We want to be able to hop in this thing, whether it's hot, cold, whatever. We want to be able to drive this thing. So it does have a choke. I know people were complaining about that on Aaron's live stream, saying, oh, it's a race car, it doesn't need it. For what we want to use the car for, we went with a choke. Best option for what we wanted. Plus, we live in Ohio. It gets cold here. So hopefully with that propped open, maybe that'll give this a little bit better chance of starting. All right, this is gonna be attempt number, I don't know, probably 10. All right, it still is trying. I think maybe a little bit higher fuel pressure. We're sitting at like maybe 6 right now. All right, just made a little discovery. Front bowl did not have any fuel in it. Turned the fuel pump on. Was actually sitting there tapping it with a hammer, and all of a sudden you hear the regulator click, and all of a sudden that bowl starts filling with fuel. So we thought that might have been an issue before. We couldn't tell if it was just not getting fuel to that one or if it was actually stuck, but it looks like now we have fuel in there for sure. So that might fix our lack of fuel. Now it's time to try starting it again. All right, so there's a little update. We do actually have it trying to idle now. So we are going to leave it at that for today. I at least wanted to get that little update out there. I've got some wiring I got to do. Probably going to make that a task for the evenings this week. Now that we're not in a super rush to get the car running and to the races, we'll be able to take better care of what we're actually doing. I've got a few things like the connector down here. These ended up not actually working. I was kind of disappointed. These were supposed to clip together. They don't want to stay together, so I'm going to find some new connectors for down there. That is actually for the headlight harness through the bumper. Those headlights are going to look awesome once we got them all wired up and running. And then still have to wire up the fan and the water pump. Those are going to be on separate switches, and they're going to actually be set up so that even with the car not running, we can run those. They'll be on their own fan, so we can cool the engine down, and we should be good. Just want to thank everybody for watching. Met a few of you out at Kent Rose, and it's awesome meeting everybody. If you're not already subscribed, like and subscribe. Help my channel grow. We're making progress. Last time I looked was 410 subscribers. So content's going to get better, especially once we get this thing running. We'll be able to actually have some race content and everything out there for everybody, and that'll be awesome. So thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe.